I was writing the 7th position and I was like, wait a second, these names don't seem right. They weren't right, and so I had to like erase them and like rewrite them. So I gave the race a 9 out of 10. It would have been a 10 out of 10, but it was a bad day for Ferrari. So technically it's a 10 out of 10, but I bumped it down to a 9 out of 10 because as a Ferrari fan, it was a bad day for us, you guys, a bad day. So before we get into that, the predictions that I had for this week were a no Max win, a wet race, a yellow flag, a Lewis pole, Lance Stroll scores, and then George ends up in the top 5. Right? So I do all my predictions before before qualifying on Saturday. And so out of the 6 things that I predicted, I only got 2 wrong. So I said that Max wouldn't win, which was wrong, and then I said that Lewis would get pole, which is wrong because Lewis ended up 7th, I think. He qualified 7th, yeah. And it rained. There was a yellow flag. Lance scored. I think he got 7th place, which is good. And then George ended up on 3rd place, which is really good too. So you know what's funny though is that the last couple of races I have said that there would be a Max win, and then Max doesn't win, and then the first time I say that Max isn't gonna win, he wins. Like, make that make sense? I don't know. I just like, what the heck? Okay. So driver of the day goes to Lando Norris. Lando Norris, and then the fastest lap goes to Lewis, which I think he got like the last lap. I'm not entirely too sure. Okay, so something that happened. Let's see. Where should I start? I don't know. So much happened. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna say is that out of the 20 drivers, 5 of the drivers DNF'd, and DNF means did not finish. Okay, so they didn't end up finishing, and so one of them was Carlos, Alex Albon, which is Williams, Checo, which is Red Bull, Charles, Ferrari, and then Logan, also Williams. So we had a Williams DNF, like a double DNF, and then a Ferrari double DNF, and then we had one Red Bull DNF. And let me tell you, going from Monaco to Montreal, which is in Canada, going from like Monaco where Charles and Ferrari were just like on top, you know, to going to Montreal where they're both DNF. Kind of crazy. So basically what happened was that like Charles's car was acting like really weird, and they had figured out that I think it was an engine problem, and so they make him pit, and they like apparently solved the issue, but I don't know what happened where basically he pitted. They gave him hard tires, but he stayed in the pit for like 40 seconds or something, and so by the time he came out of the pit stop, he was like last place, like completely last place. And then he pitted again because it was gonna start raining, or like it was raining, so they pitted for inters, and at that point, like, he was so behind that it was like it's over. Like, the car was so slow, they were already like, I'm pretty sure Charles got lapped. Yeah, he got lapped. So it's like at that point it's like no. So he ended up retiring, and then Carlos retired because he spun out. Like, I think he hit like a wet patch or something. Cause like when the drivers are driving, typically they have like a race line, you know, the way that they go. And because the cars go so fast, that part of the track it dries faster because the cars are going over that, and it just dries faster. But everything else around the track is completely wet. So when a driver, like, if they aren't careful, and can you guys hear that in the background? I think that's my mom. But that's basically what happens when the drivers aren't careful, and they, like, even if the rear tire touches a little bit of the wet spot, I think they spin out. And I think what happened to Carlos, I can't remember that well, but I'm pretty sure he spun out because he hit a wet patch. And so when he spun out, he like did a whole like little spin, and then when he was spinning, the Carlos hits Alex. Alex goes spinning, and Alex hits the barrier. And basically, the rule is like, if you crash, but you can still get the car going again by yourself, then you're still allowed to continue the race. But if you crash and the car is not working, and you need assistance to get it back moving, you're out of the race. So Alex was out of the race, and then Carlos kept going, but I don't remember what happened. Where Carlos, I'm pretty sure it was like right after that crash where he retired. I'm pretty sure he retired like on lap 55, I think, which is funny because I'm pretty sure his driver's number is 55. Anyways, so that happened, and then Logan, he DNF'd, which he's also in Williams. He's Alex's teammate. He DNF'd because he crashed, and then Checo. Oh my God, his crash was kind of crazy. So basically, what happened was that I'm pretty sure he also spun out because he touched like a wet patch, and so basically he spun, and then the back of his car hit a barrier. But we all thought he was fine. But then the camera pans to his car, and like his entire rear wing is just gone. Like it's basically just like hanging like by the car, like it's really there. So he comes back into the pit stop, and honestly, he retires. But he did receive a 3-place grid penalty for the next race. Like the next race he participates in, basically because race control or the stewards are saying that the way that he cause like maybe I'll put a picture up here. I don't know. If I do, it'll probably be up here. So basically what happens is that since the car is so damaged, what the storage thing, what he did was so unsafe, because if like while he was driving back to the pits, if the rear wing would have fallen off, like that would have caused like major issues on track, like, you know what I mean? So it was like a safety kind of thing. So he got a three place grid penalty for the next race, which is Spain. Alright. What else? Okay, yeah. So then, oh my God, okay, so it was raining really hard, right? It was raining, and because of the rain and everything like that, and like just the conditions, we had, I think, 2 safety cars, and the safety cars really just like, it got like, the race was just crazy. And okay, so for me, I really wanted George to win this race because I don't know, I just like, he got pole position, which means that he was starting first, and I was just like, I wanted to see him win. He's only had one win before, and I'm just like, I want to see him win, you know. And but like Max was behind him, and then a couple laps in, Lando, who started third, overtook Max. I'm like, what the, wow, I was like, that is actually insane. I didn't think that was like, I don't know, it's so shocking to me. And I was like, okay, this is good. Lando can keep Max behind. you know, you can attack Lewis. And then George overtook Lewis, like I think on the last lap maybe.